Okay, so lesson 22 for 8-7 math. I guess it would help if I had my math book. Page 144, is everyone all 8-7 math there? Sweet. Almost there. Okay. Oh, too far. So problems about a fraction of a group, Just from here and just that, problems about fractions of a group. What do you guys think of? Fractions of a group. So let's say 1/2 of this class would be what? That's what I would think of. So splitting up people into, so you have a full group, splitting them in half, splitting them into thirds. Those are things you would do. Even in, I run a fantasy football league. In my fantasy football league, I have 4 different divisions. I have a total of 12 people. I have to split the divisions into 4 different divisions. How many people are in each division? So I have 12 teams total. I have 4 total divisions. How many people are in each division? So 12 total. Yeah, Abby. I'm not going to go over that part. So no, it's okay. It's about real football, but it's, yeah. So I have 12 total teams. 12 total teams, 4 divisions. 4 divisions. How would they be broken down into each division? How many people would be in each?
3.
3. There we go. 3 people per division, because 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12. Good. Thanks, Bethy. All right. So lesson 22, that's what we're going to be doing. Nope. Fractions, which is essentially division. So lesson 22. All right. Example 1. Diagram this statement, then answer the question below. So 2/5 of 30 singers in the choir are boys. So 2/5 are boys. So if I were to draw that out into groups, I'll draw a box into fifths. How would I split this up into fifths? Yeah, Bethy? Come on up and split them up.
Good color. Let's see. What color? Okay. Oh, that was too far.
Good. So we have 5 different groups, right? Sweet. Thank you, Bethy. So we have 5 different groups. Okay. So 2/5 of the 30 singers in the choir are boys. So we have 30 total singers. 30 total singers. This is just like the problem I just gave you. 30 total singers. 2/5 of them are boys. So how would I color in 2/5 on this little chart, Oasis? Yeah, I could just color in the top 2. Somebody, or the bottom 2. It doesn't really matter, but I'll just do the top 2 just for simplicity. So those are boys. Then I'm gonna be stereotypical here, and then do green for the, or pink, pink, pink for the girls. Nope, I knew what it was. So there's 3 different groups of girls, and then 2 different groups for boys. Okay, so 30 singers, 30 singers. How many of them are boys? William?
So we count the boxes, and the boxes we have, which is 5, we divide that by 30,
took 30, you divided it by 5. 5 goes into 30 6 times. And the reason you picked 5 was because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total groups. So that's why I have a 5 right here. That's why I have a 5 right there, because there's 5 total groups. And 30 divided by 5 is 6, which means there are 6 singers per group. So 6 singers in here, 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, 6 here. Okay, so how many total boy singers do I have? How many total boy singers do I have, Jaden? The blue is the boys and the pink is the girls. Yeah, 12, yep. Because what Jaden did in her head was she added 6 plus 6, which is 12. How many girl singers would I have, Abby? 18, yep. Because Abby, you did 6 plus 6 plus 6, or 6 times 3, which is 18. So 18 girls, 12 boys. All right, that looks good so far. So let's move on to the next. Example 2. We only have 2 examples, sweet. Example 2, we're almost there. Example 2, that was example 1. I don't think I wrote it up there. So in the following statement, change the percent to a fraction. So change the percent to a fraction. Then diagram the statement and answer the questions. So, yeah, Bethy? No, you did the last one. So letter A, what fraction of questions did Britt answer correctly? What fraction? So it says Britt correctly answered 80% of the 40 questions. So we have 40 total questions. 40 questions, let's just say on a test. 40 questions on the test. Britt got an 80%. 80%. How do we know how many they got correct? Aries? Yeah, come on up and explain what you're doing as you're doing it. So 40 total questions. She got an 80, he or she got an 80%. I don't know if it's a boy or girl.
80% correct, is that just wants to know how many she got correct?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I would first convert the 80% to 4/5,
Which, how did you get to 4/5?
well,
You have 80 over 100 first, right?
yeah,
So you start with 80 over 100, and then that, in simplest form, would be 4 over 5. So, yep, that's how you get to 4/5.
and then actually don't usually do it the way I'm supposed to.
So how would I know how many questions she got right? You can explain to me in a different way. I'm fine with that.
Well, I usually just do I can just do it this way, the normal way. 40 divided by the 5.
Yep.
That's right.
Divide it by your denominator. Good.
Here. And then that would equal 8.
Yep.
And I do the 8. 8 times the 4 for the numerator.
Yes. Yep.
Equals 32.
It's very hard to follow by how you wrote your notes, but that's because there's not a lot of room. So I'll clean it up here a little bit. But yeah, you got it right. Good job. All right, I'm gonna clean this up a little. So what Aries did right here was there's 40 total questions, and we divide that by 5, which was our denominator. Divide that by 5. 40 divided by 5 is gonna be 8. So our fraction was 4/5, and our total questions was 40. Divide by the denominator, the bottom number here. And then what Aries did was he took 8 times 4, which is the number in our numerator here. 8 times 4, which is going to be 32. 32 out of 40. So this is what I do when I'm grading you guys. So I'll say 32 over 40. And how would I figure out what percent it is? I would take 32 and divide it by 40. I divide the numerator, the top number, by the bottom number. And since 40 doesn't go into 32, I have to add a decimal. 40 goes into 320 8 times, and it goes in evenly. So that means if I multiplied 0.8 times 100, I'd get what, William? Yep, 80, which would be 80%. So that's how I would change it back into a percent, but we don't have to do that. It just wanted to know how many questions Brett got right. So that would be 32 questions correct. All right, so you guys have A through E, and then 1 through 25 odd, 1 through 25 odd. So if you have problems with the letters, I can always just skip those ones and move on to the numbers, and I will help you when I'm done with the other 2 math groups. All right, so that is it for 8-7 math.